Hi guys! So let's talk a little bit more today about comparing fractions. So yesterday we talked about two different ways to compare fractions. The first way was if our denominators are the same, we can just look at unit fractions. So if I have 1/6 and 3/6, I don't really need to draw a picture or a number line. I can, and that's helpful if you need it. But if my denominators are the same, I can just look at my numerators. Is 1 greater than, less than, or equal to 3/6? Right, it's less than. So I would put in my less than symbol, and then I would read this as 1/6 is less than 3/6. Okay? So if you don't have something to write with, I'd like you to pause the video and go grab it and then come back because we're going to work through a couple samples together. All right, let's try one. I'm going to give you fractions to compare that have the same denominator. I want you to fill in the middle part with greater than, less than, or equal to, whichever one fits the best. So what if I have what should go in the middle? A greater than, less than, or equal to sign. You can pause the video, figure it out, and then hit play to come back and check. Okay, so my denominators are the same. I don't even need to go any further than that. Let's just look at my numerators. Is 4 greater than, less than, or equal to 7? Right, it's less than, so that means 4/8 is less than 7/8. Did you get that right? Hopefully. Okay, so that's comparing fractions with a like denominator. That means the same. But now I want to talk about comparing fractions that have different denominators. So, the first way we can do that is by making a model, okay? And when I say make a model, I'm saying draw a picture or a number line. Either one of those count as a model. So let's say I have these fractions, 1/3 and 2/4. Okay, so the first thing that I could do is I could draw a model with a picture, like our rectangles. So I would need to have two rectangles, exactly the same size, and I would divide my first one into thirds. Okay, I would divide my second one into what? Fourths. Okay, so I have 3 parts in that one and 2 in that one. How many thirds am I going to shade? 1. How many fourths will I shade? 2. Which one has more shaded? Right, 2/4 is greater. It has more shaded. Okay? But the drawback to that is you would have to be very, very careful to make sure that your lines are in the right spot. Because if they're not, it's going to throw off your picture and you might not have the right answer. I could draw a number line. Okay? So here's my number line. It always starts at 0 and ends at 1. Okay? So my first number line, I'm going to divide it into thirds. Okay? I'm going to divide this one into fourths. All right, 1/3 would go right here. 2/4 would go right here. Which one's further along? 2/4. So it just checks out my answer that 1/3 is less than 2/4. Okay? So making a model, totally a viable option. However, especially once you get into bigger fractions or mixed fractions, actually let's do this. Okay, you might want to have another strategy. So let's put our fractions back up. Okay, and do you remember what I taught you yesterday? What animal did I use? Yeah, the butterfly. So I draw my butterfly wings. And what's 4 times 1? 4. Because anytime I multiply a number by 1, it equals that number. I'm going to draw my other butterfly wings. What's 3 times 2? 2, 4, 6. What's greater, 4 or 6? Right, 6 is greater. Whoops. Okay, so if I were to read this fraction, I would read it as 1/3 is less than 2/4. Okay, is your brain jogging? Do you feel like you've got a good memory going now? All right, so what we're going to do is practice some of those fractions, okay? So I'm going to write 2 fractions on the board to compare. You're going to pause the video and figure it out. You can draw a model or you can do the butterfly. Or if it's a unit fraction, you can figure it out just by looking at numerators. Once you have figured out your answer, you can hit play and come back to check it with me. So here's our first 2 fractions to compare. Whoa, let's try that again. Well, maybe. There we go. Woo! It's not cooperating. Okay. So 3/4 and 5/6. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video. Use whatever method works best for you to compare 3/4 and 5/6. And you can tell me what should go in the middle. Greater than, less than, or equal to. Okay, did you figure it out? Good. I'm going to use the butterfly to figure this one out. So I'm going to draw my first butterfly wings. What's 4 times 5? 5, 10, 15, 20. What's 6 times 3? 18. So what's greater, 18 or 20? Right, 20. So I would write 3/4 is less than 5/6. Did you get that right? Good. Let's try another one. All right. How about 4/8 and 1/2? Go ahead and pause the video, solve it, and come back to check. Okay. I tried to trick you on this one a little bit. Did I do it? Did I trick you? Let's check it. All right, I'm gonna draw my butterfly. What's 8 times 1? It's 8 because anything times 1 is just that number. What's 4 times 2? Oh, how about that? It's also 8. So what symbol should have gone in the middle? An equal sign, yeah. Did you get that or did it throw you off? Okay, let's try another one. All right, 4/7, 2/7. Pause the video, figure out your answer, and then come back to check it with me. All right, what did you get? Right, this is one of our unit fraction ones. Our denominators are the same, so you only have to look at the numerators. What's greater, 4 or 2? 4. So I would read this as, man, I'm having a hard time today. I would read this as 4/7 is greater than 2/7. Okay, let's try one more before you practice on your own. I'm gonna have to write it over here. All right, how about 2/6 and 4/8? Go ahead and compare those two for me. Pause, come back to check it. All right, I'm gonna do my butterfly. So what's 6 times 4? 24. What's 8 times 2? 16. What's greater, 16 or 24? 24. So I would put my symbol there and I would read this as 2/6 is less than 4/8. All right, what you're gonna do now is go down below and practice this on your own a little bit.